a triumph of surgery? Let us look at the characters from the story. The first one is Tricky, Mrs. Pumphrey's pampered dog who becomes overweight and unhealthy due to overfeeding. The second is Mrs. Pumphrey, Tricky's overindulgent owner who spoils him with excessive food and luxuries. Mr. Herriot, the narrator, a veterinary doctor who helps Tricky recover from his health problems. There is Tristan, Mr. Herriot's assistant, and there's a dog, the greyhound at the clinic, among many other animals. Let us understand the summary of A Triumph of Surgery. The story revolves around Tricky, a dog owned by overindulgent Mrs. Pumphrey. Tricky becomes extremely obese, which means fat or overweight, and that is due to his owner's excessive pampering, including rich foods and lack of exercise. When Tricky's health deteriorates, Mrs. Pumphrey calls the veterinarian, Mr. Herriot, who advises strict dieting and exercise. However, Mrs. Pumphrey finds it difficult to follow the instructions and continues to pamper the dog. As Tricky's condition worsens, Mr. Herriot takes the dog to his clinic for treatment. Surprisingly, he administers no medicine but places Tricky on a strict diet and lets him interact with other dogs. Tricky slowly regains his energy and fitness by playing around with them and eating minimal food. Meanwhile, Mrs. Pumphrey showers Mr. Herriot with gifts like eggs, wine, and brandy, believing they are to aid Tricky's recovery. Mr. Herriot doesn't mind these gifts. After 2 weeks, Tricky transforms into a healthy, active dog. When Mrs. Pumphrey picks him up, she is overwhelmed with joy, gratitude, calling the recovery a triumph of surgery. She thinks it is because of the surgery that the dog has recovered its health. However, the true success lies in the simple discipline of diet and exercise and not surgery. Here are some of the important points for discussion that can be considered. Key lessons, that is responsible pet care. Discuss how love for pets should not mean overfeeding or indulging them. Balanced lifestyle. Emphasize the importance of diet, exercise, and simplicity in maintaining good health. There is humor and irony too. The irony in Mrs. Pumphrey's belief that Tricky's recovery was due to surgery, when it actually was the result of a strict routine and natural methods. There was no surgery involved in the whole process. Here are some of the question and answers. Thank you.